West of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. 50, plant. Protein spill. Hey, Alpha. Get it.
Off of play action, it's McSorley. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
64, weak.
They go play action now with McSorley. Flushed out right. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vita Vea able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
You can't stop me.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing on second down, McSorley. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Everyone's got 4 out.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
First down, Saints.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. McSorley, 1st and 10. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one. All the way down inside the 20.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Saints first down.
30 base.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check 26, check 26. Easy. Motion. He's crashing. He's checking him. Sunday, green, triple team. Easy. Hey, 47, look small. This is party now.
They just do get the play off. Now Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Get the ball. 44, Mike, where we go?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run it with Jones. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones, because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's McSorley. He's going to air one out. He's got a man. Complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown. New Orleans. Traquan Smith. 94 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them, because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Green, triple C. 44. Easy. Hey, I'm coming. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. And it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved out to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. On 3rd down, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. They gonna need some.
1st down, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The 2nd down throw for Winston. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, stop. Double up. He's coming, double up. Safe. Easy.
There they try to sweep to Jones. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Hey, they're scared.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Ready, blue ready, green, triple C. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 56 to Mike. 56 is Mike.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Lutt's good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy. Now, under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Around the NFL, second quarter in Atlanta. And the Falcons have opened up the lead there to a couple of scores. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Easy. Hey, the mic. Hey, look. Back and go full strength. Easy. 47. Mike's 47. Let's get it together.
Jameis to throw it. This complete to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Check. You don't know no better.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
We ain't giving up nothing today. Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
Here's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On play action, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Saints' 48-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Again, it's Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Winston now from the 50. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's McSorley to throw. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, Charlie.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I got you, boy.
To throw, Winston. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Evans. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 49-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Oh, here we go.
Winston now. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Jameis now on 1st down. Hearing this one out for Evans. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Coming this way, here we go.
To throw is Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. This is Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dayon Buchanan just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. They go play action now with McSorley. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A first down throw for Winston. There goes a deep ball in, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Marquise Goodwin. His first touchdown on the year. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And what could he possibly be thinking? He just took the fair catch at the 1-yard line. Major mistake.
At their own 1-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All day, every day. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. That's the pass. 44 is the mic. 44 is Mike. Check.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jameis throwing here. That's complete to Perriman. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
We got this.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Breida. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check 43. 47, Mike. 47, Mike. 47. Easy. Both sevens to Mike. Both sevens.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there.
Check hot route. Hot. Easy. Zoom. Come on. Easy. You better be ready. Don't be scared. Let's go.
Now Winston on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
44 to Mike. Easy. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Watch the screen. Flip it. Watch the screen. Go. Mike's both.
From the gun, Winston. Being chased out left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one, and the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Black 25. 44 Mike. Check. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Wait. 44 is the Mike. Let's go.
On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike, 44. Rip right. Let's go.
Now Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Hayward. You got it.
One last shot now for Winston. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football.